This is when I met the astral nightmare creature. It's not really a creature. It appeared to me as a woman, and that was very beautiful. And she told me that I didn't want to see what was past where I was. I didn't want to go there. I didn't understand what it meant. And it was basically any soul or spirit or being of consciousness that would go there. It would be their worst thoughts come true. Like, it appeared to me as a person, but it could immediately turn into a situation or a event of some sort that somebody was afraid of, or like it could rip you to pieces and then put you back together, just like your worst fear. And because I asked why do I not want to go back past here, and she showed me what happened to other creatures, and because she said, if I show you what happens, it'll make you think that way too, and I'll have to do things to you. And that's how I went through a lot of my fears, because I didn't know they were there until I was introduced to them again. So every time you think that you're just watching a horror movie, those things are actually going in the back of your mind, and you're going to experience them one way or the other. Either conceptually while you're alive and you internalize them deep enough, or in the afterlife. Well, it's not really afterlife, it's just in between human experiences, or in between life form experiences, because there's basically the memory that you have in your head is like when you die, the memory of you is out there. So there's an entity out there that's expected to be Hitler, performing the way Hitler was. And that entity that was Hitler can act as Hitler based on how someone thinks about what Hitler was. But the entity itself is an entity of love, and can honestly say, I only appear to people the way they see me, but the way I am really is this way. Because it's all part of the one, but it's a memory jogged around in the atmospheric galactic memory. I don't even know how you would explain it. The universe is such an amazing place. Like when our bodies are gone, the way we remember thoughts in our head that we think are specifically to us are actually just contained in our head, and when we die, they're everywhere. Every thought that we have is everywhere at all times. We just think they're in our head. Like, you can tap into other people's memories by realizing that their thoughts are just contained within their head. They're still everywhere else, but they just think that they're theirs because they have a brain that they think keeps all those things there. And to them specifically, those experiences were more meaningful because they experienced them hands-on. But you can experience through someone else's mind, through their memory, through their, like, someone can vividly tell you, about a situation. You could picture it really, really good and almost imagine seeing it. But there are people who can just get senses from being around people that can see things that those people have done without those people telling them. Like, that memory is out there. And the nightmare woman was basically, she's not a woman. It was just, that's what it appeared to be to me, because I was peaceful when I got there. And I saw all those nightmare things then. I mean, this was like a year ago in our time when I went through all my nightmares and all my whatever. But it was because I had to realize that there are things that you could expose yourself to, but you don't really want to because it's not good for you. But for some reason we do things that we know we shouldn't anyway. Let's watch this horrible, gory thing of people being ripped to pieces and think it's funny or amusing or exciting or entertaining. But we have to at first to experience it. But once we satisfy that darkness in us, because we all have that little bit of darkness, which isn't darkness, it's just wondering. It's just the experience. So once we satisfy that little piece, we can let it go. We don't have to keep feeding it and feeding it and feeding it. And that's what people do. They overfeed those dark sides, and those dark sides start becoming more realistic in the physical world. So you learn from those things, and you keep them minimal, just so we can learn from them. You keep the things that we have a plethora of should be the loving and peaceful things. And I know that sounds all candy and sissy, but it's true. That's how we should be. We should be more loving and caring towards all. We shouldn't be celebrating violence and destruction, but we do anyway. And we know that, but we do it anyway. But there is a nightmare realm, basically. It's like part of the astral realm that you will experience when you die, between life and life. It's not fun, but it's something that you should be prepared for. So therefore, clean up your act while you're alive so you don't have to go through that all then.